This is my first ever OC, Justice Wires. An icon, if you will. But lately, she's been looking rough. The design just isn't it for me anymore, and I think it's time to level up. Hey everyone, it's Minty, and honestly, I wasn't planning on filming this video, but here I am. I was looking through my sketchbook earlier, and then it hit me. My OC Justice is literally so boring. Okay, that was harsh, but I knew that I had to make a change, so that's exactly what I'm doing now. Okay, so starting off with the sketch, this was going fine. I made sure to use a reference for the pose, even though it's not a difficult pose, but I'm really trying to improve on my poses and not make my characters look so, like, doors, you know? So yeah, that's what I did. Then I grabbed my rubber and I erased it all, and now time for line art. I've been switching to these pens lately because, I don't know, I think they fit my style a bit more than the sketchy style I was doing for a couple months. And I'm getting sidetracked because I'm supposed to be talking about her character design. The first thing that I changed was her hair, and you'll see that in a second when I did this digital sketch beforehand, because I didn't want to mess it up in my sketchbook. Even though that's what a sketchbook is for, I went digitally first just to make sure that I knew what I was doing. I'll show you a time lapse of that digital sketch in a second, but right now I'm just coloring the skin. I think I gave her a little bit too much blush, but it was just so fun, and somehow the pen didn't smudge at all on this one, which I really appreciate. Sadly, I can't say the same for the drawing I did after this, but I guess you'll witness that disaster later. I wasn't gonna include this in the video originally, but I do think it turned out okay. I really like how I did the line art. It looks kind of glitchy and sketchy. I don't know, but yeah, that was just some concept art for what the hairstyle would look like. I think that my plan translated pretty well into the line art, and can I just say, this is my favorite drawing that I have done ever? Probably, yeah. I just really like the style that it's in, and I think it looks a little bit more professional. It's still not the best, but in terms of style, I really like it, and I love how I colored the hair. I think that it's a little bit too green. Yeah, I don't really have the exact color that I want in markers, so it does look a little bit more green on camera, but that's alright. You might not be seeing much of a change, and honestly, yeah, it's not that different, but I gave her some wispy bangs and a bit more of a messy hairstyle than before. It's still, I don't know, it's still very straight, but it's a bit more jaggedy with like sharp lines, if that makes sense. I don't know, but if you compare it to the previous drawings of her, I like it a lot better. I swatched out a couple colors next to the hoodie because I couldn't decide on what to color it, and I ended up going for this blue, even though the pink was very tempting, but I didn't want to make it too like out there and bright. I still wanted it to suit her personality. And yeah, this is changed from a boring old grey, which it used to be, and honestly, the grey kind of did suit it because she's supposed to be like on this sci-fi spaceship and everything in the future, but does that have to be boring? I don't think so. So I went with this light blue, which I think complements the hair pretty well, and also it balances out the fact that the hair is a little too green and it brings more of that blue color into it. I kept her trousers pretty much the same, although I did lighten them a bit to match more of the pastel vibe. I gave her a necklace, and I also took out the belt because she kind of looked like a pirate before. I don't know what my obsession was with those belts, but it was not it. This next drawing was definitely a spur of the moment kind of thing. It's still Justice Wires, but she's in a completely different outfit, and her hair is in a messy bun. Her facial expression is questionable. She's supposed to be like half asleep. I don't know why I chose to do this rather than anything else, but that's what I was feeling in the moment, and this is what we got. So it's kind of like if she woke up in the middle of the night because she's heard a noise, she's got her torch in her hand, and she's like wandering the hallways. Definitely makes sense. It's definitely relevant. It's really not, but I just wanted to draw something different. So we've got her hair in a messy bun here. I think it should have been a bit bigger, or like, I don't know, because she has extremely long hair, so I think the bun would be like extremely big. I'm not sure how that works, but she looks alright besides the massive eye bags, but it's character, guys. It's character. Sadly, I forgot to use a reference for this pose. It's still a little bit different. I mean, she's supposed to be walking, but it really doesn't look like that, and that's why I should have used a reference, because now she just looks kind of lopsided. But yeah, she's supposed to be like slouching over and walking through the halls. Yeah, it really doesn't portray. It's okay. I tried to make her pajamas to be some sort of like uniform. Like she go. I'm not really explaining her entire story here, but at some point in the story, she is in this sort of school for people with special abilities and stuff. So yeah, I assume they would have some sort of uniform, and does that explain anything? Not really, but deal with it. I didn't leave any time for the line art to dry on this one, which was a huge mistake because the pen did pick up some of the black ink and spread it around my drawing, which we love. We really don't. But I don't think it matters too much because she is supposed to be tired and a complete mess, so it kind of fits the vibe, but I would prefer if it was a little cleaner. Somehow I forgot to film a little montage thingy for that drawing, so we've already moved on to the next one, and with this one I really struggled with an idea because, well, what else is there apart from normal and sleep deprived? Surely those are the only two modes in life. But I ended up going for this mission spy kind of uniform thing. I don't know. She's also like crying, so my theory for my own drawing, I don't know why I have a theory for my... Okay, basically, she's like kind of crying and smiling because this is like near the end of her story, which I still haven't planned out, but let's pretend I did. Something really dramatic has happened and she's standing about to fight the final battle in this uniform, which doesn't really make any sense either. She has like knee pads and some weird glass boots for some reason, but it's the future and, you know, anything is possible. We've also got some glasses with some sci-fi looking white stuff on them, which I'm not showing yet. I'm sorry, this voiceover is getting a little bit chaotic. I also put her hair down because I simply wanted to. If she was on a mission and everything, she would have her usual high ponytail or something a little bit more secure than having all this long hair flying out in the wind. I mean, there's no wind in space, but you know what I mean. It just wouldn't be practical, but I really wanted to see what she would look like with her hair down, so I think it works, and that's why I do still like this drawing, even though it doesn't make much sense. I just like how her hair looks when it's down. I think her fringe does look a little bit wet or greasy in this one. I think that I made the chunks a little bit too big. They're supposed to be more wispy, and I think the best example of that is the first one, so next time I'll make sure to make them a bit thinner. The clothing design was very unplanned. I did have a look at Pinterest and I searched up sci-fi clothing or something like that, and I did see this type of clothing, so I tried to emulate that kind of vibe, but mine's just very basic because I haven't really drawn this kind of clothing before, and I just added a couple random straps and like spikes on her shoulders. It doesn't really make any sense, so if I wanted to redo this outfit, I would definitely make a few sketches to practice because I made this up completely on the first go and it's definitely not the most unique thing. I did include her magic in this one, which I'm colouring right now. It's surrounding her hand and I kind of forgot to finish it off. I did colour it and then later I added a couple sparkles, but I think I got distracted or I went to have dinner or something and I just didn't revisit the magic. So it looks very bland. Hopefully that's not too noticeable in the final thing, but I do wish I could have put a little bit more detail into that because drawing magic is something that I do find really fun and I'm kind of annoyed that I missed that opportunity. I might go back and do it in my spare time, but you're not going to see that in this video. Also, next time I do the magic, I think I might make it purple or a different colour, but yeah, these are the 3 final drawings. My favourite one is definitely the first one because, as I said earlier, I really like how this art style shows through, but I love the other 2 just as much. It's just the first one is like the iconic one, you know? Let me know which drawing of her is your favourite in the comments, and do you like the new design or do you prefer the old one, because that's totally okay. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Here are the shout outs, shout out emoji, and yeah, maybe like the video. Thank you. Bye.